What's up? It's Matt.
And Willow.
And we're watching 86, episode 16, Even So.
Even so.
Last episode, we had Shin and Frederica chat about Kiri.
Yeah, Kiri. Yeah.
And potentially about Shin's future, what that looks like.
Yeah.
He's hiding his power still to
Raiden was worried about that.
Yeah, there's that conflict of like, should we tell him, should we not tell him?
Yeah. No, definitely
something else happened.
Yeah, last episode was a build-up episode. It feels like they got a big mission. The squad's coming back together.
Oh yeah.
And there was kind of like there was some talk about like the way the 86 are being viewed in the Confederacy. There was some talk about the way they're being treated in the military and kind of some disagreement about whether or not they should be fighting and their their little machines and everything. And so there was a lot of build up in addition to we learned Kiri's story, which was pretty intense.
Yeah. We got the whole lore on the fall of the Legion, but not the Legion, the previous Legion.
The Empire.
Yeah. Or whatever it was. I forget. I get the names confused, but it's not that important.
Jihad. They're like the Empire of Jihad.
Yeah, and now they're the Confederacy.
Yeah, the Confederacy is the current. So, and we've reached out to a couple other countries.
So
I don't know if that will come back in.
But they haven't heard from
San
Magnolia.
Yeah,
Lena,
because they're committing crimes. That's not why, but
or they're wiped out. I think that was the main thing, because
I'm gonna be so real just because of Lena. I didn't think about that. I was like, if Lena died,
I thought that was like the obvious implication.
No, that is the obvious implication. I was just like, my girl, she's over there.
They've already established that they can't. Like they have.
That's true. They're fucked.
Them. Like and the 86 are just gonna get wiped out. And,
Oh god. Well, I'm wondering if this episode's gonna be a big battle. I'm scared that it's going to be a big battle.
Yeah. One thing I was thinking about when I was editing the one from episode 14. We're watching 16 now, so 2 behind. But I don't know if we've ever really talked about how Shin is now like Frederica, because we were talking about Frederica's character and stuff, and like her role in the story last episode. And Shin is like, they were calling Shin her big brother and stuff, and when he's talking to Eugene and people, but like I forget if we've talked about this or if this is even relevant, but like he had the whole thing with his big brother, and now he's in the role of a big brother. Like,
we didn't talk about that.
Yeah, I hadn't really like thought about it that deeply, but I do think that's interesting that like he had this connection with his big brother, and it was this whole thing and the relationships, and we saw the struggles of that.
I think
and now he's put in the role of being the big brother. I think is interesting.
Yeah, Frederica might have even said something about big brothers and little brothers in the early, or like someone did.
They call him her brother like multiple times, and that
is super interesting.
It was editing because it was the one where Eugene tragically dies, and he's talking about his little sister, and then Shin's like, oh yeah, it's Frederica and stuff as well. So
that's super interesting. Well, something to think about in this episode, for sure.
It's just another like connection between their relationship and like why it's there and what Shin's, I don't know what implications it might mean for Shin. And I think like the role reversal is interesting.
No, that's super interesting. Gosh, another little thing that we're doing.
Yeah. You want to get into this one?
Yeah, let's see what's going on. I'm scared. I'm always a little scared.
Legion.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Oh boy. These are all the ones. Oh.
Yeah. They're fucked. That's a lot of guys.
I know we've mentioned this so many times, but it's so wild to me how like the Legion are basically the same little spider drones that we have, but they look so much freakier. Like,
they do look so much freakier. They're all chromy.
Yeah, and the way they move is also like very much more robotic.
Yeah, they're really like
they're
like hex bugs.
Yeah.
Not quite. Hex bugs don't quite move like that.
No.
Shout out to hex bugs.
I forgot they existed.
You forgot about hex bugs.
Hey, don't take my man's pillow.
Damn. His head didn't even like. Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
Oh god.
Damn, there's a lot of Legion in there.
That's not good. Oh, buddy.
We've never really seen Shin hit that.
No,
level.
I feel like never. He kind of went berserk mode versus his brother, but like even then that was more of like an emotional thing.
Yeah, that wasn't due to the like strain from the Legion.
Ah! That's crazy.
Oh.
Oh geez, guys.
You got a little letter? You liked it? Okay, should these guys even be out here?
I wouldn't. This is kind of like in a minor spoilers for Attack on Titan. This is like when normal people are out in the battle with the Titans.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus.
Oh man.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah, they should not be out there.
Oh no no no. Yeah, ain't nobody up, bro. Yeah,
Oh,
we're looking so good. Yeah, it's almost like Shin told you last time. Oh. Oh, fuck. This is crazy. We're all out.
Yeah.
How many episodes do we have left? Are we fucked?
Yeah, like 7 more. I feel like she's a good one to tell about it.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna tell anyone, instead of going to like the higher up people.
Yeah. Oh my god. Why even have bros on the ground?
I mean, I guess you have to do something.
Yeah, like you also probably don't have enough tanks.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Oh, no, no, no. Ooh. Yeah. Oh, jeez. Oh, the stomp? They said back the fuck up. Fido on the field. Oh shit, we got missiles?
Dang, this is some new tech.
Yeah, this is new tech. Oh, mama. Jesus.
There we go.
Oh, we all got special guns? She got 6 sniper mortar gun? Holy fuck.
Hell yeah.
If any of these 5 die, I'm gonna lose it on camera, guys. I'm gonna lose it on camera. Oh god.
It's weird coming from the beginning of the show and people
I
die
know.
every episode, but now like really attached to these 5.
I know.
They've come so far. It is cool seeing the technology of the spider drones when it's like people who actually care about their fighting and like trying to improve the technology and stuff.
Ow, bro.
Oh boy.
Yikes. To any regular person, Shin's insane.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh. It's a lot of boys.
Do they have some more people? Or am I tripping?
No, it kind of looks like they do, but I may be wrong. This seems too easy. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, this seems easy, but this is also probably such a small number of the actual army. The actual
I think it's just their 5, actually.
I thought I saw like a 6th or 7th one.
I thought I did
around,
too, but oh.
maybe not.
I don't think you could. What the fuck? She can do the Shin thing? It looks like there's more than 5 of them when they're running, but I think it's just different angles and stuff.
Yeah. Well, there's definitely a couple more.
Yeah. Maybe it's those men who were in the classroom last time.
Maybe.
Oh, is that all their guys? Do they have a bunch?
I don't know if that's all the...
Yeah, hard to say. He's not gonna have his comm on for you, girl. But this isn't good. Oh, can she see through Shin?
Yeah, I think she can.
Oh, that's crazy.
Because remember too when he shot Eugene, he was like, "Frederica, close your eyes, don't see this."
Oh yeah. Oh, he's a little locked in.
Yeah. A little too locked in, maybe.
Oh, he looks like him. Oh. Oh, he's ready to die. That's probably the same look as... Oh god. Oh god. This does happen a lot with Shin.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It is kind of interesting too, because she said Kirei like accepted the lead, like he just gave up. And
Yeah.
Shin kind of did that after the brother thing. Before
I know.
They got the Republic thing. Before they got taken to the Republic.
Yeah.
Or the Federacy, I mean, not the Republic.
Yeah, yeah.
Jeez.
Shit. Oh my god. Oh shit.
Damn.
Oh, we're back to Lena in the moment of evil. Jesus. Jesus.
It's been a while since we've been back
I
here.
know. These fuckos never do their job.
I think you might be fucked there, buddy.
It's like really bad, guys.
Yeah, I think they're actually breaching the city now.
Like the 86 are not, they're all dead. Bro, what do you think you're doing?
Damn.
Hello? They still live there though. Okay, but they're also dying, bro.
Yeah, that doesn't help anyone.
Like, we already kind of know this isn't true from that episode with the fireworks, where they were like...
Yeah.
At least for some of them, like...
But he doesn't know that.
Yeah.
I don't think he's 100% wrong, but I don't think it does any good to not let them in.
Yeah. Jesus. Bro. Bro, don't be such a bitch about it.
Wait, I actually thought that was kind of wholesome.
I guess.
I think he's saying, like, that kind of sums up his whole character, I think. Is that he
That's
thinks
true.
all of this is hopeless to begin with. So
Yeah.
by trying to stop her and deny her, he's trying to protect her because there's no point in doing anything
No,
she's
no,
doing. And now
yeah.
he's going to go potentially die on the battlefield to help her because he's
Yeah,
realized
that does
given up
make
his
sense.
whole
I think it just
thing.
like comes off as harsh, but
Yeah, I
but
mean, it's
no, you're
definitely
totally right.
harsh, but...
Yeah.
And obviously I'm not agreeing with him that it's hopeless, but...
Oh, she's got like a super... Ooh. Oh, she got... Yeah, because she had requested something from Annette like a long time ago.
Yeah, so I think she's connecting with every 86.
Oh, she's connected to everybody.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Jeez. Oh my god.
Oh, there's one more little scene at the end too.
Oh. Oh! Oh my god!
There we go. That's a crazy way to end the episode. So we already hit San Magnolia. Now he's coming here.
What? Oh my god.
That was a pretty intense episode.
That was a very intense
I
episode.
think we were pretty right about getting into a big battle.
Okay.
Yeah, alright. Let's take it from the top.
Alright, we're going to focus on the positives first. Our 5 squad members, they're all OP. They're awesome.
Yeah.
They all have cool guns now.
And it does seem like they have a whole squad. I think they're just not spending time addressing any of those characters because it's not.
Yeah, it seems like they are part of this experimental force.
Yeah.
And they have more people.
And maybe they're like not the same. Like these 5 might be the front operation commanded by Shin, but yeah, I think it's one of those things where it just doesn't have time to cover all these other people.
I think it wasn't like in super clear, but I do think maybe last episode, like the fact that there were 2 other guys in the room when she was briefing, and there may have been more than 5 of the walkers like in the hangar.
Yeah.
And so they probably have been hinting at it, but
and it wouldn't really make sense if they had the capabilities to make more than 5 of
that
these
they
walkers.
wouldn't train people.
Yeah, exactly. But like it obviously makes sense to put Shin and them in charge of it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, everything makes sense. I just didn't realize that there were more, but
oh man,
not very relevant to anything, honestly. Yeah.
I do think one thing that I'll say that I even noticed myself that like you mentioned, where like it's such a difference from the first half of the season to be like, oh my god, if any of these main characters die now, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, I feel like that even says something kind of about the way that the show was going in the first half, and this time where like now you know these characters, and so even one of their deaths feels like so like, even though you and I and anybody watching wouldn't be like, oh well, another 86 died, it doesn't matter because we're like good people, you know.
Yeah.
like you don't want to be a shithead, but like you barely get to know the characters enough to even be sad when they die. You're just kind of generally sad. And I think like you're like, as like the person watching the show, you're kind of going through the same journey that Lena went through in the first half, where like they're becoming real people. And now I'm like, if Anju dies, if Teo dies, like if any of them die, I'm losing it.
We've also gotten that like hope of a future for them, which
that too,
didn't really exist before.
Yeah.
But yeah, I completely agree, and I think that is something the show does really well, where it's going through that same journey that Lena is for the viewer. Like not 100% because obviously you don't like agree with what San Magnolia is doing, but it gives you the feeling as someone who's like watching helplessly of what is happening, and you don't know these people or anything. They're just like numbers on a screen. Yeah,
and like no matter how much footage you see from a tragedy happening far away, and no matter how scary and sad that is, it's never going to, like, just human emotion wise, it's never going to be the same as it happening to someone who you know.
Yeah.
You know, like, and so I think that like the journey of the show has been really interesting in that regard.
Yeah, they do a really good job with that.
Yeah, speaking of the squad dying, Shin's like on a suicide mission, which he kind of has been, but like,
yeah,
I really, really like this like parallel between him and Kiri that got drawn this episode. I feel like that felt like almost the payoff I wasn't sure where we were going at last episode when I was talking about not really knowing what was going on with Furuka and Kiri. I feel like now I get it.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
What else?
Yeah, I don't really have too much else to say, like, on this first battle with them.
No, it was
cool. Mostly just showing the battle and showing Shin in this mental state.
Yeah.
And we got to see Frederica's ability, like, more clearly. They mentioned it before, but they didn't really, like, show it in this way.
I kind of forgot about it.
Yeah.
Honestly. But no, that was it. That was very interesting, and she has this connection with Kiri and with Shin.
Yeah.
So
she could see what Shin was like on the battlefield, and then she can also see where Kiri's at.
Yeah.
And now he's pulling up, it seems like.
Gosh, everybody's just in a bad way.
Yeah.
I feel like that was a really great scene with Lena towards the end.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that was like a big kind of like payoff build up moment with her and her uncle.
Yeah.
And yeah, super interested to see what they do. I mean, like it almost Frederica made it kind of sound like that they lost already, but
I mean, I think they're not in a winning position at all. And like, yeah, I don't know. I think basically, even if there's survivors, the whole thing is done. So like the whole San Magnolia Republic is.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering if Lena dies. Like, I feel like she wouldn't die. Like, I feel like they wouldn't have that be her thing and not show her dying. But like, it'd be. She's kind of like one of the things that. Like the few times that Shin has kind of thought about his future, he's like, well, I'd kind of like to see Lena again.
Yeah.
You know, and like if she died, that would really be crazy. And maybe, oh gosh, I don't even know.
Yeah. I thought this was a good scene, like with this showing this other 86 getting wiped out that we've never seen, but like I don't know, they're still doing everything they can, like Lena was saying, but they're also saying fuck the Republic at the same time. But yeah, I don't know. Pretty crazy.
Oh man,
it's wild seeing how like they're actually showing footage for the first time and still no one's even like capable.
They can't even believe it. They're like, everybody's drunk. They're like, what's going on? Is this a movie?
And I think this rounds out this uncle character for the most part. And
we're probably not seeing him again.
Yeah, I think he's going to fight to the death. But I think that's like, I still don't agree with the fact that you should just sit there and do nothing.
No,
but I like. It does show that he does love Lena and is trying to do what he thinks is in her best interest and trying to help her. And now even when that is like collapsed, he's still gonna help her by going out and fighting to the end or whatever, which is like honorable in some regard in that aspect, like in that choice of going out there and doing it. But
no, and it's an interesting way to show how much he cares, like you were just saying, like how much he cares, but not like his character didn't change. Like he kind of started out like we're fucked, doom and hard.
Yeah.
And he ended with we're fucked, doom and hard. And he died. Like, and that makes kind of sense. Like if he's already given up, then we don't really need to see him die. Like I would assume he dies. But yeah, I do think that was a really interesting, like, I don't even think I fully picked up on I'm glad that you kind of mentioned that you thought it was a little more wholesome, because it was good to have like another perspective on it.
Yeah. He was obviously being harsh about it, but like he was basically saying we've been fucked and I love you and I don't know, I'm gonna do what I gotta do. But
pretty complex situation.
I think it's similar. There's another show I've been watching, but they had a similar situation to this, and there was like someone that was kind of in the same position as him, and there's like people who are fighting for hope or whatever, but they were like, oh yeah, we always knew we were going to lose. The hope is just to live life peacefully until the day of like reckoning or whatever comes. And I feel like that is almost kind of how he like, I mean, he might not have been aware of how fucked they were, but that's like the same perspective I kind of feel like he had, where like, oh, if we can like sacrifice the 86 and do whatever and everyone can live peacefully, even if we get wiped out, everyone is like living happy lives until that happens, which I don't like agree with again,
no, but very flawed logic still builds on like we got to use these other people to delay.
But I mean, even without the 86 part, like I can understand someone's thought process of being like, okay, if we're gonna get wiped out, if we can protect this like year or two of happiness or whatever, and like not having to stress about this war or whatever, like obviously using the 86 is a whole nother thing, but like if you put that aside and just say like we can stay in this little bubble and be happy if you really think we're dead no matter what, like
it's kind of like I can't think of like a specific example of a specific character, but in like a more kind of like post-apocalyptic show where like you find one person who's like living on their own on a farm and they've got all their stuff, but they like won't help anyone. Like that's kind of his vibe. Where he's like, they're like, one day the zombie apocalypse or the alien apocalypse or whatever kind of apocalypse is gonna come for me and I'm gonna die. Like I can't beat him, but until then I'm living my life. Fuck you guys. Like, and the fuck you guys is like the other nations in the 86 where he's just like, I don't know, I guess we're all fucked eventually. But yeah, he was a pretty complicated character. I feel like I'm gonna have to think about him. I might even have like a little more to say about him when we come back for the next episode. Like,
I think I like his character because he's like more nuanced than just all the other people in San Magnolia who just like are so like they're all portrayed so like ignorant, or not ignorant, but like ignorant maybe is the right word, but like they're just so in their world, not caring about the 86. Like I think him and Annette show like the more nuanced takes and like thoughts on everything, and that like there are people who are like aware of what's going on and like still have to process it in different ways and come to different conclusions. So I think he's a really interesting character.
I think so too, and I think he's like also an interesting example of like at the end of the day his character did not change and he is wrong. But he is still, you can still see him just like you're doing and like we're doing, where like you can still understand him emotionally and get things out of him, and he's a real person. And he's not
I feel like there's real people who would come to the same conclusion he would and live that way.
And it's not like, and we saw in earlier episodes that he's not just like super bigoted, fuck all the 80s. He's more of like a, I didn't choose this to happen, but now it's happening. And like, which again doesn't make it like you could get into these loops when you're talking about these characters because everything's so complicated too, where like obviously, you know, them having good traits doesn't make what the bad things they do any less bad, but then like, you know, it so super interesting. And oh my god, are they just getting airstruck and not in their sick walkers now?
That's what it seems like.
By to change. Oh my god, dude, what is gonna happen? I'm so stressed. That was such a crazy way to end it.
That was. They do that a lot with this show.
They do. It's giving me a hard time.
Ugh. We're nearing the end. Close. There's 23 episodes, so we got 7 more.
7 more. A lot can happen in 7 episodes. Jeez.
But yeah. Well, anyway, I think that's all I got for this one.
I think that's all I got too. Let us know what you think. I don't know what's gonna happen in the next 7 episodes. I'm scared. I'm stressed. We'll see you next time.
Peace.